Who killed Sam? 31 years on, and this cold case still hasn't been solved despite a $1 million reward being offered. We've tracked down a suspect in the murder who, bizarrely, is now living with Sam's daughter.
Off, will you?
Just wanted to ask you about the death of Sam Rotiroti.
Maria Rotiroti is living with this man, a suspect in her father's brutal murder. She's a daughter doing the unthinkable, and some in her family are fuming.
Just knowing that a daughter can take off with someone who's a suspect, it sickens me. Just the thought of, what are you doing with him? Did you really love your dad?
Two cousins living together. Yeah, it's just shocking. The truth about what happened to my father is stranger than any movie.
It's the crime that tore a family apart. Sam Rotiroti was bludgeoned to death in his driveway.
I want justice. I want my happy husband back.
The father of 5 left behind a deeply divided house. On one side, his loyal son Vince, desperate for justice. The other, Sam's family, seemingly keeping an oath of silence.
I no longer talk to my mum or my brothers or sisters ever since this happened.
The father of 3 boys and 2 girls,
Just moved them around and called out, Dad, you're right.
It's a September morning in 1988 and homicide detectives are combing this Geelong home for clues.
It was too late.
Vince Rotiroti was just 21 when he discovered his dad's body.
And he was beaten around everywhere with a pool of blood, and I've gone inside and everyone was in the lounge room, and including my brother too. And I've screamed and said to Mum and all the family, what's happened, his dad's been killed outside. Yeah, that didn't sort of scream or cry. Yeah, I was hysterical.
Sam was a concrete company boss who Detective Senior Sergeant Peter Trickias says was much loved.
Had a young family, decent man all round, by all accounts. No known enemies.
His hard work had paid him handsomely. However, some saw Sam's money as easy pickings. Before his death, the 46-year-old had paid a huge ransom to have his kidnapped son Tony released.
My father organised $100,000, give it to my oldest brother Joe. Now, we don't know who he gave the money to, and 5 minutes later my younger brother Tony come home.
will you?
Just 3 weeks after Sam's death, detectives charged his nephew, Vince Zangari, with murder. But he was released on bail, and the murder charge was dropped when witnesses withdrew testimony.
Vince, do you know why that might have happened? Did you apply any pressure at all?
Vince Zangari's brother, Joe, was one of those witnesses, seen here carrying Sam's casket. Joe told detectives Vince Zangari rang him in a panic on the night Sam was murdered, asking for a lift. He claimed in his recanted statement that Zangari said, "I've got to get rid of these clothes. Take me somewhere where there's no one around. They're all stained."
I'm the only one in the family who cooperates with the police and cares.
Hundreds mourned Sam's death. Among them, wife Jessipina snapped here, weeping with their daughters Lisa and Maria. The widow continues to live in the same house where Sam was murdered and has been little help to police. Daughter Maria refuses to assist detectives. She's done everything to hide her past, moving states and changing her name. Zangari, who she ran away with to Sydney, now goes by Luciano. They didn't appreciate the attention when we caught up with them.
Off, will you?
Maria, don't you want justice for your father?
The evidence at the moment indicates that the person of interest is very close to the family and also to the victim.
Do you have anything to say? You've been silent up until now.
And I haven't had no contact for him since 1988, since the murder of my father. I just want justice, because I've been traumatised and living in fear all my life. And it's a burden I've got to carry with me the rest of my life.
It's been really hard. He's always had that anger. I can't.
No one knows that trauma more than wife Anna and their 2 daughters.
The kids have been through everything. It's been hard. They know Dad's angry for a reason.
Vince was at Anna's on the night of the murder. Little did she know her boyfriend would be changed forever.
We fought a lot. He hit the alcohol. Oh.
It's been a difficult case and frustrating for the investigators, only because there is a strong person of interest, and that person of interest was identified early on in the investigation.
The boss of Victoria Police's Homicide Squad Cold Case Unit, Peter Trickiass, feels they're close to solving this case. Why are members of this family not coming forward?
Obviously, loyalties come into play. There's Vince, on one hand, who really wants the matter solved. He wants justice for his father, but there are other family members that want to leave it in the past and they want to move on with their lives.
There's a $1 million reward on the table for information that leads to the conviction of Sam's killer. Detectives have even told family members who are concerned for their safety that police will protect them.
Do you know why family might not be speaking to police?
The current affair is not suggesting Zangari murdered his uncle, just that he remains a suspect in the unsolved cold case. And like those loyal to Zangari, he is exercising his right to silence.
He deserves justice, definitely. If it was my dad, just, talk. Just talk.
If there is a family member or somebody close to the family that has information, we really urge that person to have the courage to come forward and speak to us.
Yes, and anyone with information about Sam Rotiroti's murder should call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. That's 1800 333 000.